Welcome back to College Breakdown. I'm your host, Tyler Beeman, joined by Finn Larch and Cole Singley. Thank y'all for joining me.
No problem.
Thank you.
And this week, I'm going to touch briefly on the recent head coach signing. James Franklin is going to Virginia Tech to be their next head coach. What do y'all think of that?
I'm not really sure where James Franklin was going to go, but I know wherever he's going to go, he'll get him a good season. They will make bowl eligibility, and that's just some big coaching prestige that you're going to get at your school, and that'll boost recruits. He'll be able to get recruits coming in, and I think that at a less high-stakes conference, and as the Big Ten used to be, I think that James Franklin will do good. I think he'll have a pretty good season. They might even crack the top 25, but I do think they'll make a bowl game, and they'll be pretty good.
Yeah, like Finn said, I think since it's not as big of a conference, he'll perform better there. I did not really see this coming at all. Like, I didn't see him going to a smaller school. I saw him staying at a school like Penn State or maybe even a little bit bigger. But I think it'll be good for him. I think he'll have a pretty good season there.
I 100% agree with y'all. I feel like him going to the ACC as opposed to a Big Ten or an SEC school, that this is the perfect place for him to go. There aren't a ton of big games that he has to play in other than Clemson, Miami, and Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, they might not play them any given season.
Yeah, one fact that I did learn about Virginia Tech is I don't think they've been ranked since 2018, maybe 2019. They've been on this pretty big drought of being ranked, and I think James Franklin can turn that around.
I agree.
Yeah, I think he's got a pretty good shot at doing that.
They do have one of the best traditions in all of college football, coming out to Enter Sandman at the beginning of every game. That place gets rowdy. They're a great fan base, and I think they finally have a good head coach in James Franklin.
I totally agree.
And now on to what the majority of this podcast is going to be about.
The reason I'm here.
The Iron Bowl. Up until last week, the Iron Bowl, there really wasn't anything for Auburn to gain other than the potential of bowl eligibility. But now, Auburn has the chance to knock Alabama out of the college football playoff if we give them their third loss.
And get a bowl game, right?
And get a bowl game. As long as we beat Mercer, we should, but we lost to New Mexico State a few years ago, so nothing's for certain.
Yeah.
And I heard this week, Jackson Arnold will be playing. Will be starting.
I'd put Deuce in.
I would start Deuce.
They're trying to preserve the red shirt for Ashton Daniels, but I'll put Deuce Knight in. I think he needs some reps if you want to even get him to think about staying at Auburn. Give him some reps, give him some starting time. Because I don't think that Jackson Arnold has it in him. Or maybe he just had some really bad play calling and just didn't give Jackson Arnold a chance, but I guess we'll see against Mercer.
I guess we will.
I have a few opinions on the quarterback situation. If it was just the play calling that hurt Jackson Arnold, why would DJ Durkin keep starting Ashton Daniels if Jackson Arnold wasn't the problem? I think we should start Deuce Knight. If he struggles against Mercer, put in Jackson Arnold, who has experience. But I think if we want to keep Deuce Knight for the long term, we have to start him and put our trust into him against Mercer to basically hand him the reins for when Ashton Daniels is gone as your next starting quarterback.
I do agree with that, but then again, you don't want to put him in there and go 3 and out 3 times in a row, and then look up and we're in a bad situation where Mercer's up 2 touchdowns and we're still at 0. That would be a pretty bad situation going into halftime, losing by 2. But then again, Jackson Arnold, he might do the same thing, so you never know. I will say, though, I did watch Deuce Knight play one time. It was against Ball State. I was there for that game, and
so was I.
Yeah, he did look a little scared out there. I can't lie.
He was behind a backup offensive line.
It's true.
He had all backups in with him, so I don't put much stock into that one, 5-minute performance he had. I'm excited to see what we do against Mercer at the quarterback position, because they are a good team. They're undefeated in the FCS. It's not going to be an easy game, especially with an interim head coach. We got to make sure we win that and not look ahead to the Iron Bowl like most fans are.
I will say against Mercer, I'm going to make a bold prediction here. Jackson Arnold, if he's playing, will take at least 5 sacks. I feel like that's going to happen with our offensive line, and he has just not thrown the ball away this year. 5 sacks against Mercer. I'm calling it right there.
Well, you see, you mentioned the offensive line, and some of the sacks are on the offensive line, but a lot of the time, he's standing back there with a lot of time. The offensive line can't give you 30 seconds to stand back there. The ball needs to be out. He's been back there and have 10, 15 seconds sometimes, and he just holds onto the ball and looks around, and then doesn't scramble. If you're not gonna throw the ball, let's scramble and run and get some, or scramble and throw it away, and let's live to the next down.
Yeah, he does not throw it away.
Yeah.
That's what I've really liked about Ashton Daniels. He makes quick decisions, and he'll throw the ball away if he has to, but he's made a lot of positive plays on his legs, avoiding sacks.
Mm-hmm.
He's a smarter quarterback, makes better decisions in the spur of the moment, and that's why I think we're preserving his red shirt so he can play for us next year.
Yeah, I think that's a good move right there.
Yeah, next year hopefully he'll be pretty good with the team, because we really have not had a accountable quarterback since maybe Bo Nix.
Yeah, and I mean, as you see last week, finally having a decent quarterback in there shows Cam Coleman's abilities. 2 one-handed catches I saw, one for the touchdown, and then he used left hand, and then he used his right hand for the 2-point conversion.
I think another thing, Derek Nix, our offensive coordinator, finally started calling the plays. It wasn't Hugh Freeze calling third down while Derek Nix was calling the first 2 downs.
Yeah.
Having one offensive play caller makes a huge difference in the game plan and being able to play well during a game. That being said, let's look ahead to the Iron Bowl. It's always the biggest game of the year, whether Auburn's great or not. We're in Jordan-Hare at night.
Yeah, and as Nick Saban said, that place is haunted.
Mm-hmm.
Being in Jordan-Hare at night gives us an advantage that very few teams have at night outside of the upper echelon of the SEC, the Bamas, the Georgias, the Tennessees. Our fans have always shown out no matter how bad we are. They're going to be 86,000 plus screaming, trying to make Ty Simpson make mistakes like he did 3 times against Oklahoma with 3 turnovers, 1
That's
pick
not
6.
good. Ooh.
That was his first game where he had multiple turnovers. Before that, he came into that game with 1 interception. He has taken great care of the ball this year. Our defense is going to have to step up and make plays if we want to win this Iron Bowl.
I trust our defense to do that. Our defense has played really good this year, one of the best in the nation. Vanderbilt, well, how many points did they have? Was like 45 in overtime.
Yeah.
That's the highest we've had any team score by a lot. Prior to that, no team scored more than 24 points on us. And it's a good defensive team, and I think they'll be able to stop, especially the passing game. We got good corners, lots of interceptions this year. And I think that we'll have a shot at stopping at least Bama's offense.
But what was incredible against Vanderbilt was that Auburn's offense was able to match Vanderbilt's offense as far as points goes.
For the first time this season, I'd say that was able to happen, yeah.
That's what makes me most confident in having a chance in this game. I'm not saying we win outright. I'm saying there is a chance that we have in this game with the way our offense played against Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and back to what you were saying about the fans, the stadium's going to be packed, but you also got to account for all the people that aren't going in the game that are tailgating outside. That's right outside, and it's still pretty loud hearing everyone out there. And I think after last week's performance that we had against Vanderbilt, I think there's going to be a couple extra people in Auburn this weekend or next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. One crazy statistic that I saw the other day, Jeremiah Cobb has more rushing yards than Bama's entire running back room.
Yep.
This is a completely different Bama offense than in years past. In years past, they've been more balanced. This year, they're really determined to throw the ball down the field, which has worked for them. Our secondary, they struggled last week against Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
But I think we have to put Jay Crawford on Ryan Williams like we did last year. He was able to stop him last year, but we have to find someone who can guard Jeremy Bernard.
Well, also last week, Vanderbilt they were pretty even with their passes and runs, but they were also running a lot of play action. That can also mess up the defense quite a bit.
Yeah, I do think that the run game, it's a strong suit for Auburn, but it's not our best. I honestly think our pass defense has really escalated throughout the season. And I think that Bama tries to switch things up on us and runs the ball. I think we'll be able to stop them. Passing wise, it will be difficult. They have a lot of fast receivers. They're a very talented team in that position. But I do think we'll be able to stop them just a bit, though I do think they'll be able to get some points up on us.
I agree. This Iron Bowl, it reminds me of 2019 with the feel. High scoring game, going to come down to the fourth quarter. I don't think we blow Bama out by any means, but I also don't think they blow us out by any means, us being at home. The last few games at home, we won in 2019, went to 4 overtimes in 2021, and they had the miracle play on 4th and 23 in 2023. We've kept it close. No matter how bad we've been, no matter how bad our coaching's been, we've been able to keep the Iron Bowl close at home. Do you think that if we win this game, it's going to be close? Do you think it's going to come down to the last possession? Or do you think that it's going to be a multiple possession game on either side?
I think it'll always be close. I feel like Auburn always finds a way to keep it close with Alabama, even if it's just like a 14-point game. They will find a way to keep it close. And I do think, especially since we're playing at home, it will be a good game. It'll be a close game. It'll come down to the second half for sure. I predict it'll be pretty tight first half, but then Bama might pull away, Auburn might pull away. It'll be good. It'll be a good game to watch, especially in the second half.
Yeah, with the way the season has gone so unpredictable this year, I think this is going to be one of the biggest Iron Bowls there has been. I think it's going to be one of the most watched Iron Bowls there has been. And I think this game is going to be incredibly close because each team is trying to do whatever they can, whatever it takes to win. So Auburn's just going to be over there making them snap at another down. If they throw a go ball and they catch it, they're going to tackle him and make him snap at another down and hope Ty Simpson messes up, which there's a good chance he will with the pressure Auburn's defense is going to put on him. I think that's going to make a difference too. Auburn needs to put some pressure on Ty Simpson because it seems like when he has pressure coming at him, it's not as easy for him to make those split-second decisions as with when he's got time back there. So I think that's going to help him out a lot.
Yeah, I do think that if we want to have a good shot in this game, we got to put pressure on Ty Simpson. And that's something we've actually had a bit of a problem. I feel like if we call a good blitz, we might be able to get it in. But we got to work with our D-line, especially against that big Alabama offensive line. They have a good offensive line. We got to find a way to get past them. And if we apply pressure, that again forces hurries, interceptions, fumbles, scrambles, which we can cover pretty well. It's difficult, all right, but I do think that we can pull it off, and if we get a pass rush in there, it'll go in our favor.
I think a defensive player to watch in this game outside of Keldrick Falk is Xavier Atkins. He's the SEC's leading tackler at the linebacker position. He's second in the SEC in tackles for a loss. He's second in the SEC in sacks. He has been playing so well this year. I think if Ty Simpson gets out of the pocket, Xavier Atkins is going to be our spy. And he's going to be able to track down Ty Simpson because he did a pretty good job containing Diego Pavia for a majority of the game, which is a very tough task.
I think the same thing. I was actually about to say that same thing, but I was about to talk about Falk. I mean, the dude, he's got a impressive pass rush as it is. But then his ability to just, as soon as you see it's run, shed and get inside, it's crazy to me how easy he's shiftable.
Yeah, he's going to be a big prospect this year. I predict he will go first round, that's for sure. And he'll be among one of the first defensive players picked.
I think Keldrick Falk's a top 15 pick in the next NFL draft. He played so well last year. He's been doubled so much this year, which is why his numbers haven't looked as good. He's been doubled. It's like what's happening with Micah Parsons in the NFL. They figured out we have to double this guy, and therefore it's making all of the other defensive players look even better.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Once the team finds out what you're capable of, they're going to do everything they can to try to shut you down. And after last season, seeing what Keldrick Falk was able to do, this season they decided they weren't going to let that happen. But he's still back there getting double teams, but he's splitting them and making plays. and then they try to run outside zone, and he's out there waiting for him every time.
Yeah, I do think that Keldrick Falk, he might be not as big as the impact as we thought he would be, but that means that the other defensive players will have more of a shot. The other people on the line will be able to get in. And honestly, a couple sacks would go a long way for the Auburn defense because we're normally pretty good on those third and long situations this year, not as opposed to last year. But I do think that a good pass rush, a good performance by Keldrick Falk, the rest of our D-line, maybe even some linebackers, that'll get us pretty far in the Alabama game.
Exactly, and since they're having to double him now, it's taking more blockers or more O linemen for it to move Keldrick Falk. So that's freeing up your linebackers to scrape easier and fit better. So it just opens up a lot more tackles for him and for other guys.
Kieron Crawford has especially benefited from this, leading second in the team in sacks off the opposite edge of Keldrick Falk. And one last thing before this game is done, before we're finished up with this. Bama's offensive line struggled against Oklahoma. They gave up multiple sacks, which was an anomaly for them. Our pass rush is top tier in the SEC. You have A&M, you have Oklahoma, you have Bama, they're a great pass rush, and you have Auburn as top pass rushes in the SEC this year. This game's going to be close. I'm excited to watch it, and hopefully we're able to come out with the win because we have nothing to lose. If we lose, it's to be expected with an interim head coach. If we can win, we knock Bama out of the playoff.
Yep.
And a bowl game,
And a bowl game.
hopefully.
Well, that's it for this college breakdown. I'm your host, Tyler Beeman, joined by Finn Larch and Cole Singley. Go Cardinals and War Eagle.
Or Eagle.
Or Eagle.